Okay, so to continue here in module number 1, you'll want to begin to add elements into your composition. So essentially, the first or the only three elements that I'd like for you to, or shapes that I would like for you to focus on for this first lesson are squares, circles, and also lines. Okay, so just basic lines, and so so essentially, as I had mentioned, when you create a shape with the rectangular tool, it creates obviously a rectangle. However, if you hold down the Shift key, it will constrain the proportions, both the width and the height, to allow you to create squares. And then the same applies to a circle as well. If you just hold down the submenu for the rectangular tool, it shows you other tools that are available here. And you'll want to select the ellipse tool. And with the ellipse tool, again, you'll want to hold down the Shift key. And the Shift key, again, by pressing down the Shift key as you draw the shape, it will create circle shapes. Okay? So again, what it's doing is it's constraining the proportion of that. Now, to create a single line segment, there is the line segment tool. And that allows you to draw various lines quite easily. If you hold down the Shift key again, it will constrain the vertical axis, or if you hold down the Shift key, it will constrain the horizontal axis. So you'll get a nice straight horizontal line by holding down the Shift key, or conversely a vertical line as well. So that the line segment tool allows you to do that. Also, there's the pen tool, and the pen tool also allows you to create line in the program as well. So you can kind of see what happens here is it's sort of like a continuous line that you create using the pen tool. And now if you look very carefully at your tool palette, down at the bottom of your tool palette, you'll see that there's no fill attribute, which is denoted by this red diagonal, but you'll see that the stroke chip is down in the lower right-hand corner. So it's really important to kind of understand that idea that essentially when you're creating strokes, there will never be a fill attribute, but just the stroke attribute. So the stroke attribute obviously defines the weight of that line. So for example, up under Window, if I select stroke, you'll see that I can change the weight of that line. And so as you can see, the page, obviously the weight changes based on that stroke attribute. Okay, so again, when I click, if you will, with the pen tool, it allows me to create a continuous line. And so you'll see these small little segments that are being drawn as I kind of click through my composition. If I go back to my pen tool and just tap it twice, what that does is it allows me to break away from my original line segment to create another line segment. And then again, double click, and then I can begin a new line segment. Okay, and again, just going to select everything here and just kind of move it over to the side for a moment so I have some fresh space in which to work. With the pen tool, again, if I click once and just let go and then move my pen tool to a new position and then hold down the Shift key, again, it does the same idea, constrains this the line segment on a horizontal axis. And again, if I hold down the Shift key while positioning the pen tool to a new location within my composition and then clicking again, it will create a nice vertical straight line there as well. So the Shift key is very important for creating horizontal or vertical or diagonal lines on a 45-degree angle, and also as well as creating circles and then also creating squares. That ends this lesson.